Today's topic is about estimating square roots. At the end of this video lesson, the learner will be able to estimate the square root of a whole number to the nearest hundredths and plot irrational numbers on a number line. Let's recall that the following numbers are in exponential form. 3 squared is equal to 3 times 3, which is equal to 9. 5 squared means 5 times 5, that is equal to 25. And 8 squared means 8 times 8, which is equal to 64. The following numbers are also called perfect squares. And when you get the square root of a perfect squared numbers, it will give you the following exact integer. Square root of 9 is 3, square root of 25 is 5, and square root of 64 is 8. It can be positive or negative, but usually we only look for its principal root, which is positive. Madali lang hanapin ang square root ng isang number kapag ito'y perfect square. Katulad ng square root of 81, that is 9. Square root of 36 is 6. Square root of 16 is 4. But what if a number is not a perfect square? So how do we find the square root of a number that is not a perfect square? Just like square root of 7. Kapag hindi perfect square ang isang number, these are called irrational numbers. And these irrational numbers are non-terminating and non-repeating. Ibig sabihin, hindi natatapos ang digit sa kanyang value at hindi rin paulit-ulit. So it is impossible for us to find the exact value of this without using a calculator. But for now, so what we're going to do is to simply estimate the square roots, and we will be following these steps. Let's get the approximate value of square root of 7. The first thing na gagawin natin is to determine between which two consecutive integers does the given lie. Malalaman nyo kung ano yung dalawang consecutive integers kung familiar kayo sa mga perfect squared numbers. Ano yung perfect squared numbers na malapit sa square root of 7? We can have square root of 4 and square root of 9 because square root of 4 will give us 2, square root of 9 will give us 3. That means ang value ng square root of 7 is between 2 and 3. Kung ipa-plot natin to sa number line, know na meron tayo mga maliliit na numbers dyan, which are decimal numbers. The possible values of square root of 7 are between these numbers. The next step that we're going to do is to start estimating by getting the squares of decimal numbers in between. Dito marami tayong choices. Pwedeng 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, up to 2.9, and so on and so forth. Here, we don't have an easy way but to use our background knowledge in multiplying decimals. So what we're going to do is to just have trial and error. For example, let's use 2.1. Let's make sure that the product of 2.1 and itself will be closer to 7. So the answer here is 4.41 na malayo pa sa 7. So let's try another. Let's have 2.6. So here, we have 6.76 na malapit na sa square root of 7. Pero let's try another. So we have 7.29. Pero alin ba dito sa dalawang values na to ang mas malapit sa 7? So let's subtract these numbers from 7. 7 minus 6.76 will give us 0.24, while 7.29 minus 7 will give us 0.29. So alin yung mas closer sa 7? We have this. So therefore, we can say that 2.6 times itself will give us the answer 7. So the symbol for approximation is this. Therefore, we can say that square root of 7 is approximately equal to 2.6. Let's find the approximate value of square root of 45 to the nearest tenths. So again, tingnan natin saan banda ang square root of 45. Ano ulit ang mga perfect squared numbers na malapit sa square root of 45. So we have square root of 36 and square root of 49, which will give us the integers 6 and 7. Therefore, square root of 45 is between these integers. Isip ulit tayo ng mga decimal numbers that are in between 6 and 7. Dito, there's no easy way but to do trial and error. Pero one technique siguro is to look saan ba siya mas malapit, sa 49 ba or sa 36. So somehow malapit siya sa 49, which means dito siya banda. Okay? So let's try to use 6.6. So 6.6 times itself, we have 43.56. Let's try the next, 6.7. So here we have 44.89 na talaga nga namang malapit na sa square root of 45. Pero itry muna natin ulit yung next, 6.8. So here, 46.24, lumagpas na siya sa 45. So here, we can say that 6.7 times 6.7 is near 45, which means that the approximate value of square root of 45 is 6.7. Next, let's get the approximate value of square root of 34 to the nearest hundredths. That means we must have 2 decimal places in our final answer. Ganun pa rin naman ang step. Hanapin natin kung saang integer mas malapit ang square root of 34. Ano ulit ang mga perfect squared numbers na malapit sa 34? We have 25 and 36. So square root of 25 is 5, square root of 36 is 6, which means nasa gitna siya ng 5 and 6. Kung titingnan nyo dito, mas malapit din ang 34 sa 36. So somehow, we can approximate or estimate na medyo dito banda yung value ng square root of 34. Huwag na nating itry yung 0.1, 0.2 dahil medyo malayo na yun. So let's try 5.7 times itself. So here we have 32.49. Let's have another 5.8. So we have 33.64 na malapit na rin sa square root of 34. Pero try muna natin yung 5.9. So here, we have 34.81. Notice na ang value ng 34 ay almost nasa gitna ng 5.8 and 5.9. Pero dahil ang pinapahanap sa atin is to the nearest hundredths, we need to estimate pa rin ano yung next decimal na mas magiging closer yung value when we multiply it to itself. So, let's have another computation. So again, nasa gitna ng 5.8 up to 5.9. So pwede itong 0.81, 0.82 up to 0.89. So let's try 5.83 times itself. So this will give us 33.9889, almost equal to 34 na. Let's try the next decimal place, 5.84, 34.1056. So dito, parehas naman silang malapit sa 34. So what we can do is to subtract 34 minus 33.989. It will give us 0.0111, while this one will give us 0.1056. So alin dito yung mas maliit yung layo sa 34? So we'll have this, which means that the product of 5.83 and itself will be closer to 34 compared to 5.84. Therefore, the approximate value of square root of 34 to the nearest hundredths is 5.83. Again, there's no short way but to do trial and error. So now, let's plot the square roots in a number line. Ito na rin yung given kanina, and we have estimated their values. Kailangan natin ng mga estimated values to be able to plot them accordingly in a number line. The square root of 7 is approximately 2.6. Square root of 1 is a perfect square which will give us 1 as the answer. Square root of 34, that's 5.83. So since may negative sa labas, lalagyan din natin ng negative. So this is negative 5.83. While square root of 45 is approximately 6.7. So in a number line, dahil mga decimals na to, mas madali nang mahanap kung saan sila banda. And let's use the following letters. For letter P, square root of 7, that's 2.6. 2.6 is somehow in between 2 and 3. Meron tayong line sa gitna, that means 0.5 yan, or 2.5. At ang 2.6 is somewhere here. So let's have point B here. Next, square root of 1 is exactly 1, and let's put here letter O. Letter H, negative 5.83. Nasa gitna siya ng negative 5 and negative 6. It is somewhere here. So we have here point H. While the square root of 45 is approximately 6.7. Nasa gitna siya ng 6 and 7. And dito siya banda for letter E. That's how we plot the values of the square roots in a number line. Thank you for listening. Kung sakaling hindi pa napanood ang video lesson about finding the square root of a number, please watch this video and please don't forget to subscribe and like if you have learned something. Thank you.